What is up, everyone? Welcome to the next episode of the Beige build. As always, if you haven't seen the previous episodes, go and check them out. Otherwise, this will make absolutely no sense. Quite a few people have missed out on episode 2, I believe. That one is notably lower, so that was the one where we had some fun with some power supplies. It's definitely worth checking out. I've made a playlist. The link is in the video description. Today, we're going to try and get this thing working stably. We are pretty much there, but kind of maybe 15 or 20% away from a fully functional system. Last time we encountered some blue screens, some really weird Windows behavior, some strange video card driver stuff, and we've got a lot of different things to try. So let's dig in. The first thing we're going to try is, whoop, God. The first thing we're going to try is a brand new, fresh install with a brand new flash drive. I've been using the same flash drive for years and years, just erasing it, putting new images on it. So we're gonna rule out any weirdness from the very beginning. We have, check this out, it's sealed, it is brand new. This isn't a hand-me-down or something that I found somewhere. This is brand new, I ordered it. Surely ultra flare is enough to get us all the way into Windows with a working system. Speaking of starting fresh, I really don't feel like unplugging my other PC and bringing it up here, so we're going to create the Windows 11 image on the unstable PC. That is probably not such a good idea, and that does not follow the theme of being fresh and sorting all of this out, but yeah, if we can at least create the installer, because this system, yes, it's unstable, but if I'm not fiddling with the video card stuff and trying to get it to work, then it doesn't tend to blue screen. So let's fire it up, switch on the back, and the lights dim instantly. I love it. Okay, power button on the front. What is wrong? CPU overheating? Okay, she seems to be booting now. That wasn't my nice startup beep. Let's log in then to this craziness. First thing we're going to do is erase this new USB drive. I'm going to stick it into the USB 3 port. Aha, it knows we've plugged the drive in, so that's good. Driver-wise, we're looking pretty okay. It's just the video card that's been causing issues. So let's fresh erase this because we don't want any of the nonsense that came from the factory. We're going to call this Windows 11. Yes. Okay, sweet. Now we want to jump on to the Microsoft website. We're going to need some Ethernet actually for that. Just so you guys can see that I'm doing it all from fresh. We're going to download Windows 11. Create Windows 11 installation media. Download now. Okay, this is important. English, United Kingdom, Windows 11. What happens if we untick use recommended options for this PC? I wonder what that does. USB flash drive. There's the drive, next. Downloading Windows 11, it's as easy as that. Now all we need to do is pray for a stable enough machine to allow us to download the whole OS and make the USB. It shouldn't be a problem. It's running lovely at the moment. My idea of lovely. We are getting close, I can feel it. No crashes yet. This is only the downloading part, however, but this is good. And mark my words, you guys are not gonna see this USB used for anything else at all. This will always be my Windows 11 USB. I can guarantee it. I won't be erasing it next week to put something else on it. Nope. So it looks like the download is done. Now it's creating Windows 11 media. Marvelous. Oh, look at that. She actually got through it. Your USB flash drive is ready. Oh my gosh. Finish. Okay. Right. Shall we risk it? Do we just restart and go for it? I think we should. Restart. Come on, baby. Don't let me down. We've got the boot menu. Okay, so here's our Windows install that's currently there. And here is our USB stick. So let's boot from the USB stick and see what kind of havoc we can create in here. Now, I made a big mistake last time by not documenting this process. I really should have done that because that's when we had all the issues. So it's not like we can compare the issues this time to last time because you guys didn't see them. I was only able to show you a couple of pictures. Anyway, let's go through this. So we're United Kingdom. We're going to install Windows 11. I agree that everything will be deleted. I don't have a product key. And because we are pros on this channel, we are going to install Windows 11 Pro. Accept. Searching for disks. Okay, we are going to just nuke this disk. So that's correct. Disk 0 is our little SSD that we've got in there that we're going to play with later on. Finally, it's looking a little bit simpler here in the list. Install Windows 11 Pro and keep nothing. Installing Windows 11. Okay, I'm gonna let this roll. This is gonna roll the entire time. Another thing that I really don't like about Windows is when you're doing this sort of thing, it's very happy to just spew little folders and partitions and stuff. Ah. That's a shame. That is a shame. I was not expecting a blue screen that fast. Oh man. So it wasn't happy with that. Do you know what? I'm going to unplug this SSD because I was just describing a minute ago how I hate Windows doing its thing with spewing random folders of other junk onto other drives. There we go. That's that SSD unplugged. We're going to roll through it again. All the same stuff again. Okay. Yeah, this system isn't happy. Before swapping video cards and stuff, because I think that's what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to pull out some memory. It's probably not the memory, it's probably the power supply situation and the video card and stuff like that. But I am going to pull out some additional RAM. And also, I muddled up, if you look back at the footage of the RAM installation, I muddled up the pairs. And somebody did suggest to me that that could, if there's an inconsistency between the two pairs, that might be making a problem. I'm going to give that a go, even though it's probably not that. I've run mixed up RAM in machines all through my life and it's been absolutely fine, but you never know, especially on a really sensitive system. So I'm going to do that first because it's easier than moving video cards. And then we'll resort to moving video cards and power supplies if we need to. So I installed them like that, then that. So if we move this to the fourth slot over, let's see what that does for us. Did that weird, why are you doing that? There's no need to do that. We're gonna do F2 to load default. Configurations change, we've altered the RAM, of course. We're gonna do that. XMP is not gonna be enabled. We're just gonna try and install Windows. This may not be correct. Oh, this is correct. Ooh, close one, that's now disk 0. Whoops. Okay, thank you. Let's see what this does. Is this gonna change anything? I may need to actually get my cameras and stuff on permanent power for this video because I am chunking through batteries just sitting here waiting for these things to happen, but I just wanna keep rolling. This is gonna be a lot of footage to go through. Just gonna keep rolling and rolling and rolling so that you guys can see anything that happens. I can't even remember what percentage we got up to last time. I can review the footage, of course. Does anybody else get this thing where it happens too quick? So if you see it 1 minute and it's on 20-something%, and then you look at it again and it's on 40-something%, you think that is much too quick, something is going wrong. Okay, we've got another restart under our belt. Almost missed that one. 94%. Oh, no. No! In case you didn't catch it, that was another BSOD. This is what I had last time, and then it sort of like tries to repair and stuff. Okay, yeah. So we're into this fancy bit of the installer now where we get to type in all of our details and all that stuff. I'm gutted about that blue screen. Yeah, you found my network, brilliant. I tried to do a no network Windows 11 install the first time around. That was an absolute disaster, so we're just going to install it with network. I don't even care at this point. Oh, no. Where's it going to dump me now? Where's it going to dump me now? Let's get you connected to a network. That's fair enough. Just puts you right back where you were. The thing is, I'm currently using my gaming PC every evening at the moment, pretty much. And the thought of tearing it apart is kind of soul destroying. Because what I need to do is get this RX 580 in a known good system to see if that's good. The trouble is, I will need to nuke all my display drivers on that system. That system works perfectly. I'll need to get this GPU in and then test it, you know, make sure it actually runs properly, see if I can install the drivers. I just don't want to mess with that other system because it's been so fantastic. Same goes if I just wanted to try a normal power supply for this. I do have other PCs here, but Doom PC is built so perfectly, I don't want to rip that apart for its power supply. She's just constantly blue screening. There's no point. There's no point, guys. If it's this unstable, there is no point whatsoever trying to do this. I need to make another change. Yeah, here we go. We're into Windows recovery now, so there's no point. You know, you want it to be clean and fresh. This is exactly what happened last time, so I know it's not going to work. Do you know what? The easiest thing for me to do is to grab one of my R9 380s. I can see one over there. Just grab that quickly out of Doom PC and slot it in there. Use this existing power supply setup and just see if we can install with that. We've got a potential issue here. Either the video card is not performing correctly because we had those video display drivers, or we've got a power supply problem, or something else that we're not aware of. But let's try swapping that video card first, I think. She's a beast. Here we go. Lovely. Wow, it's been a while since this machine was in the spotlight. So I'm okay with stealing a video card. I don't really mind that. But I don't want to steal the whole power supply. Look at that build. Oh my gosh. Look at that build. It is clean as a whistle. I mean, it's dusty as hell, but it's such a nice build. I love this computer. I'd forgotten about this. This was shaved off by the previous owner. That's pretty wild. Okay, let's get one of these GPUs. They are older, like really pretty old now. Let's get the bottom one here, because this system would still run without the bottom one. Back when Crossfire was still supported, this is right at the very end of Crossfire pretty much, this generation. They'd already done away with the need to use the bridge, the Crossfire bridge. There we go. There's one of our cards. Man, I hope that's not too long to get into the Beige build. If we continue to get blue screens with the R9 380, we will have to steal this power supply. A couple of people are saying to me on Discord, just gut the Doom PC and use the Doom parts to figure out what's wrong with the Beige build. And you are right, guys. It won't take me 2 seconds to rebuild this. And even though this PC has been retired, I'd still like to retain the build, just to live on a shelf, you know. It's a really fun project. One of my highest viewed videos of all time, and just a fun build as well. Let's put this graphics card out of its misery for a bit anyway. So there's the RX 580. Oh no, this card is a fair bit longer. Yeah, a little bit longer. Let's just put the 580 over here. Oh, only just. All this junk is kind of in the way. Again, this is not the logical step, really. You could troubleshoot this quicker by just sticking the RX 580 in a known good system, or I think cutting out that entirely and just bloody putting a proper power supply in this system. Okay, let's give it a whirl. Well, the GPU is lit up, so that's a good sign. Okay, we're there with this CPU temperature error thing again. We're going to go straight to the boot menu. We're not going to bother with any of the repair stuff. We're going to nuke the disk again. We're going to install again. See what she does. The fact that we've got display is a really good start. We're in a bit more of a funky resolution at the moment, but in fact, it's looking smoother. I don't have a product key. All this time has passed troubleshooting this, and I still haven't received that mysterious email with my product key. I feel a lot more comfortable now we've only got one drive plugged in as well. I hate that nonsense. Thank you. Refresh. Ah, crap! I just erased the flash drive. Ah, no! Oh my god, what is wrong with me? I have just erased the flash drive. Ah, man, I am such a doofus. It's just careless. That is just careless. I think it's been a long time since I've done something that blatantly, obviously idiotic in a video. I even acknowledged last time after I'd unplugged the other SSD that the disk numbers had moved. So I read it last time, and this time I was like blasting through disk 1, clean. Well, I can add that to my list. Have you ever erased the drive that you're actually installing from mid-installation? Yes. Yes, I have. So, we now have a lovely brand new USB drive that was meant to be all clean and tidy that's blank. And we no longer have a working Windows install on this system to make a new Windows boot stick. Let's get Doom PC up here again then. Okay, let's fire this beast up. What? Okay, so that's power cycled. Maybe it's just because it's been unplugged for a while. Okay, good. We've got a display. That's something at least. It's got a black screen. Okay, let's reset. System has crashed, I think, because I haven't got caps lock or anything. Windows 10 loading up. You know what it could be with this? It's like it loads the AMD software, sees that there should be a crossfire configuration because that's how it's configured. I've yanked one of the GPUs out. I guess the better way to do that would be to power up the system with both GPUs, disable crossfire, force the system to ignore the second GPU and then yank it out. Not that I'm a crossfire expert. I've got two systems here with crossfire configurations, but it's kind of like stick both cards in there, tick the box, job done. In terms of actually dismantling them, I don't know how they behave when you just yank one card out willy-nilly. This definitely looks like it's a video card problem though, or something video related, because it loads up, starts to load Windows, says welcome, then goes completely and utterly black. And the system is dead. The system is completely dead. I think even if we can just boot up into safe mode, that would be something. Because all we need is this image and then create the USB. And then failing that, I can just use my other PC downstairs, my other Windows 11 system, to create the installation media. That's not a problem. I don't need an all bells, all whistles system. Just need my Windows install. 4. Enable safe mode. Yay. Thank you, Windows. I didn't do safe mode with network. Number 5, enable safe mode with networking. Thank you, Microsoft. Create Windows 11 installation media, download now. I'm glad it is at least letting me do this. That is something. I think I just need to slow down. That is the main thing. I need to read stuff, slow down. I mean, I'm desperate to get this system working because I want to finish it. I want to cable manage it. I want it to be perfect. I want to play some games on it. I want to play some Beige games. Whoa, 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 no. Use the recommended settings for this PC. Nope, do not, because this PC is not compatible. We're unable to run this tool on your PC. Is that because my PC is not compatible? I'm pretty sure that's the reason. Okay, so, new plan. We're going to turn this system off, and then we will use this system on a rainy day. We'll put it in the corner and forget about it for a moment. It still looks nice on the shelf anyway. It clearly needs some work doing to it because it won't boot into Windows. Maybe if I just put that other GPU back in, it'll load up just fine. I'm not 100% sure. This little drive here, I'm going to stick it in my pocket. I'm going to take it downstairs. I'm going to make some dinner. And then later, when I'm gaming, I will create a Windows 11 install disk on this drive from my known good, reliable gaming machine downstairs. Really, really angry at myself, as funny as it is for the video, and as interesting as it would be to look back on, really annoyed because we would have found out by now, if I hadn't have accidentally erased this, we would have found out by now if it was the video card or the power supply's at fault. We would have been closer to troubleshooting. So really, really frustrating. Anyway, what can we do? I have to join you guys on another day because I'm done. I gotta go cook some dinner. I'm starving. This has taken it out of me already. New installation media created. And I'm gonna be a little bit more careful on this session. I was trying to rush last time. Oh, I don't have any of my... Oh, that's a bad start. I don't have any of my stuff connected. Just said I wasn't going to rush. Mouse, keyboard. That makes sense because the last time we had the Doom PC plugged in. Strange with that CPU stuff again, you know? I need to figure that out. I really don't know what that is. So the story is we have a freshly created Windows 11 USB, which is great news. That is exactly what we want. So let's run through all this again, Windows 11 Pro, because we are pros and we are truly going to be pros today. We're going to be all pro about this. Time to slow down and do things properly. Okay, so reading with my eyes, we can see disk 0 is clearly the SSD. So being very, very careful about what I type, we are selecting disk 0. Disk 0 is now selected. We're now going to clean disk 0. We're going to double check. Disk 0. 953 gig, disk 1 is clearly the 14 gig USB drive. Lovely stuff. Let's go. Successful. Now continuing to be careful before I manage to butcher this any further, we're going to refresh the list, and we have a beautifully clean 1 terabyte drive to install Windows on. Only drive in the system, everything is clean, everyone is happy. Install Windows 11 Pro, keep nothing, install. So because we're rocking the different GPU, this may work. And if it does, that will show us that this guy is either not happy with the power or this guy is faulty. In which case, I'm gonna have to try this in a different PC just to see what's going on with it. I really want to run an RX 580. I think it's a great little card at the moment. So fingers crossed we can get it working. If this blue screens on the install, with this video card, we know we haven't solved our problem. Right, okay, I was distracted on Discord and didn't see if it blue screened. Did it just do a normal restart or did it blue screen? I didn't see. Do you know the really kind of annoying thing about this experiment, and it's just because of my own pure laziness, is even if this doesn't blue screen and it all works and everything, happy days, it's not really going to prove much because I'm still not going to know if it's a power issue or the video card issue. Like I said, I'll have to get that video card in a more normal system or temporarily power this system with a different power supply anyway. So I'm not really gaining anything. But maybe once I get a stable install on this drive, that will at least alleviate all of this install nonsense. In fact, I'm going to research how much power the R9 380 is meant to consume. That might be a big help, and then I can kind of compare the cards. Okay, so the power consumption seems to be pretty much identical between them. There's only a 5-watt difference in the rated max power. So apparently max power of RX 580 is 185, and the R9 380 is apparently 190. That's max power, but they're kind of handy figures to look at because the power may spike. So I'm working from max figures, even though the card is pretty much idle when doing things like this, obviously. That's another thing, you know, we're not looking at consumption of power as much, we're looking about the stability of power. So maybe this GPU isn't actually faulty as such, maybe it's just slightly more sensitive to those fluctuations in power between the two supplies, because as I've previously stated many times, it's not exclusively powered by the GPU PSU that I've got in this system, because it's drawing up to 75 watts from the slot on the motherboard, which is obviously powered by the other power supply. Set up as a new PC. Yeah, I'm not restoring any of that nonsense I had on here previously. I don't want it to be really... Well, we're not blue screening, are we? We're really not blue screening. What does that tell us? It tells us that we're in deeper than we ever wanted to be. Here's a brilliant idea, right? At the very beginning of the installer, just ask the simple question, would you like to see options, deals, and offers? Yes or no? You tick yes, you see it all. You tick no, you get straight to the friggin' desktop. Right, lovely. Okay, this is freaking rock solid compared to the last install. Already I can tell just by sitting here. Wow, I was not expecting that. We have picked up the driver for the R9 380, no questions asked. It's just, you know, it's obviously a bit old, but the driver is here, and you know, I can even tell that the display is completely fine just by moving things around. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. So everything seems completely fine. I don't have all my memory in here, of course, so we're rocking on just 8 gigs of RAM, but that's, you know, fine for now. Everything looks happy. I bet we could just run Steam now and run some games and it would be fine. I'm gonna really quickly grab Prime 95, just so I can slam the system super quickly. If I grab hardware monitor Prime 95 really quickly and then slam it and see if the system blue screens or something like that. Oh, shut up. Are we ready? We may see some kind of extreme blue screen or something. This is the first proper stressor put in this system under, just on the CPU side, so let's go. And then we'll see things ramp up a little bit. So we're concerned about temps and power. This is pegged at 100. We're gonna let this roll and I'm gonna download Firmark. All right guys, you ready? When I hit this run button, the system could absolutely die. Let's see. Run. Come on, baby. Okay. She's running. She's running. GPU fans are starting to spin up, baby. Oh, look at these little power supplies go. Things are warm. Things are warm. What's happening here, I wonder? Ooh. Do we have a stable beige PC build? Okay, I think I'm going to stop all these tests give the system a little break. My plan now is to run Windows Update. Let's just run that now quickly. Didn't like me stopping all of those tests. What are you doing now, computer? Ooh, what are you doing now? Tell me. Oh, she's not happy. She's frozen a little bit. Okay, reset. Beautiful use of the reset button there. Definitely required as well. Still got to figure out that CPU thing as well, that temperature thing that pops up when I boot the system from cold. It's fine once it's booted. We've lost her again. We've lost her, right? Okay. So, I'm back to the drawing board with this one. I am back to the drawing board. Let's have a kind of recap, think about what we've done. We've swapped the video card, so we've tried a different video card. That initially got us one hell of a boost, but sadly doesn't appear to have lasted. Why is that? Why? I'm going to reseat this cooler and repaste it. Can I lay down this system? Horrible burning smell in here now. I think that's just the dust burning off the back of the GPU. Oh, I've got an awful feeling that the back plate is going to come springing off this and there's no access hole on this case. There is definitely paste on there. I think best bet for us now, guys, is clean off this paste. We'll get all the excess off with kitchen towel here. Brian sent me some of these nice wipes that you can use for this, so I'm going to give these a go. Never used these before. That liquid, you know, what do you call that stuff? CPU cleaning liquid. Wonder how much of a use you can get out of one. I'm not looking for squeaky clean. Just going to do a fresh application of thermal paste. Reapply the cooler, see if we can clear that error. Could just be a weird BIOS thing, who knows? I know you guys can't fully see, but this has definitely turned into one of those ramble fest type videos that you would probably have on in the background anyway whilst doing something else, because I'm just here seemingly for hours now trying to solve what's going on with this system. Before I put the cooler back on, I'm just going to do a quick visual. Maybe should we reseat it as well? Just reseat it in the socket a little bit. I know we've just thermal glooped it, but I've just thought about that. Out you come, in you go. Retention arm down. That's the CPU reseated. Everything looking good there. Plug the CPU fan back in. As I say, I really don't think there's an issue here. There we go. So, fresh thermal gloop. Okay, we're gonna load optimize defaults again, even though we've already done that. Save configuration and exit. Yes. Oh, cool. It didn't do it that time. Nice. Also didn't give me a post beep. Ah, because I've loaded the defaults and it's not enabled by default. Come on, Tom. Right. I feel like we've just wasted our time with that CPU. We'll soon know when we run Windows Update, because that's what seems to be crashing the system. That's it. That's it. That's the last one I'm doing. That's the last one I'm doing. There's no point. There's no physical point at all to rocking this GPU. So we've tried and we've failed. I am putting the other GPU back in. I'm flipping that BIOS switch. We're going to see what the system does with that. If it acts exactly the same as this, cool, that's fine. We don't have to worry about drivers messing up or anything because we don't have any proper drivers installed. So in other words, everything is fine for us to swap this out. Chunky Monkey going back in, shorter but fatter. Flipping the BIOS switch as well to what it wasn't on last time, just to change even more variables last minute. Back up on the Red Devil, yes! It's a lot louder, a lot louder. I'm gonna have to see if this BIOS has another update and clear CMOS and stuff. Brand new board. Welcome to Microsoft Windows. Let's have a look in Device Manager, see what's happening. Exactly the same results. Display drivers. Shall we, for a laugh, try and install some drivers for this card? Blue screen. Turn the power off. Am I chasing video card problems for no reason here? Have I got more than one problem? Latest theory, I've got more than one problem. I've got this video card thing, which is primarily a driver thing with Windows 11. And then I've got something, this might be something weird. This might be something weird that's tripping us up here. I've only just updated the BIOS as well. I'll cut a load of this out as well because it's just ridiculously long. Because if it's blue screen this much during the install, I don't see how it can... So it's been some time since the last clip, probably a week or week and a half. I tried a lot more stuff. I ended up chopping out basically hundreds of gigabytes from that video, from the rest of the episode that you guys have just seen. This is turning into a real mess. It's not very refined at all anymore. So for anyone who's still actually with me through this build, then hats off. Thank you for sticking with me. I've caved and I've done it. You guys will be proud of me. I have just purchased a normal power supply and here it is. So this is an MSI Mag A550BN 550 watt 80 plus bronze power supply. I don't think it's modular, which is fine. I don't want anything special. This was, I believe, $36.99, which was the absolute cheapest power supply I could find, brand spanking new, that wasn't made by CIT. So when I went on any website and organized all the power supplies, this was the one that always came up price lowest. CIT power supplies were quite a bit cheaper, so maybe I could get like a 500 watt CIT unit for, I don't know, £28. But I've never liked that brand. I had a terrible experience with an external hard drive enclosure that they made years and years ago, back in 2010. Some of you hardcore fans will remember that video. And all of their power supplies have always just appeared really cheap and nasty, like their cases. They might be okay, who knows, you know? They seem to sell plenty of them and the reviews aren't really that bad considering the price. So I would have probably been fine with one of those, but I thought I'd step it up a little notch. This is by no means a high-end power supply. It's in fact the lowest that you can possibly get from any kind of recognizable brand. But that kind of suits us for Beige build, and it's a lot better than what's in there now, kind of, ish, maybe. While I'm digging this out, I just want to chat a little bit about the plan here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this power supply up outside of the case first of all, just sat on the bench here, and I'm going to power the system using this. If it cures the problem and everything is perfect and I've got a stable build, I'll rip out those two power supplies and I'll put this in the case. If I'm still getting blue screens, then the problem is with something else. If that's the case, I will try a different motherboard because I happen to have another AM4 board here just laying around. It's a much lower end board and ultimately not the board that I want in the build, but it would be fine for testing purposes. If I do have a faulty motherboard, I can get a swap for that because it was a brand new component. I got the box, it's going to be easy. I can just return that and get a complete swap under warranty, so that's not a problem. If in the unlikely situation that the motherboard is fine and it is the CPU, so let's say I try a new power supply and I try a new motherboard and I'm still getting these crazy blue screens, then we'll have to kind of blame the CPU because that's the only component I haven't then changed. Memory, arguably, I haven't put different memory in there to try, but I've tried different sticks and different pairs and none of it seems to make a difference. So maybe I could try different memory as well. But if it is the CPU, I don't have a second AM4 CPU to try, which is a bit of a pain. I could always look out for one somewhere to just have in stock. So first of all, we've got our kettle lead that we don't need because even though we're upgrading the power supply, I'm still going to use the trusty Beige IEC cable. Here is the power supply. So yeah, nice. All lovely sleeve cables, fully black. It stinks of electrical burning already. That's not a good sign. It genuinely does absolutely stink. That's really weird. I hope it hasn't blown up during testing and it just made it off of the test line and straight into a box accidentally. Oh man. Yeah, you know, if I was building a gaming PC, little budget rig, you know, this might be a nice little power supply. I have to say, it is quite lightweight. The majority of the weight is in the cables and the packaging, and actually the documentation, which is really thick, and the power cable. I'm going to leave the little screws in the bottom of the box here. I'm not dismissing the need to return this. I'm keeping everything as an option at the moment. Anything could happen. You won't believe what I've just spotted on this power supply. I didn't even check what cables it had. I just ordered it because it was cheap. Amazing. This power supply has genuinely still got... Where's it gone? I did see it. There we go. 4-pin floppy connector. Absolutely amazing. So we've got a load of Molex. Got some nice kind of combo cable runs here. So floppy, Molex, SATA, and that's it for that one. This one is PCIe 6+2, PCIe 6+2. That's our video card sorted. 8-pin EPS by the looks of it. And then one more peripheral connector. Oh my word, do we have 2 floppy connectors? Nope, no we don't. I just got overexcited. We don't have 2 floppy connectors. I just picked up the same run of cable. This secondary kind of peripheral run is Molex, SATA. So 2 Molex, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SATA, 1 floppy, couple of 8 pins. Job done, happy days, suitable for 99% of builds. Let's get the system up here, give this a whirl. I know to you guys, it must sound kind of strange to hear me so dismissive of things and kind of at the end of my road in terms of patience with this. It must be really strange because really, when you look at the series, this troubleshooting doesn't seem that long, but it's been weeks and weeks and weeks. It's actually been months since we started this, and I just want to get it done and finished so I can move on to other things. So it's hard to find the enthusiasm unless I get some progress. Once I get some progress, I'll be well up for finishing this up, making it look pretty and testing it out, and then we'll get back on track. But right now, it just gives me that lethargic feeling when I think about doing this. And I've just spotted something else as well that is going to make me even more wound up, is the fact that my SSD is not screwed in and I can't remember for the life of me where I put the screw for it. I probably put it somewhere safe, and I probably did that on camera and I can't remember. And the footage is not really that pleasant to trawl through because I have pretty much binned 80% of it, if not more. One really nice thing about this is because we're going to go back to the M2 SSD to try and install our OS, we're not going to need to worry about hooking up any drive power or anything like that because there's no room in this case to do anything at the moment. But there'll be room for us to just swing the 24 pin in there, swing the 8 pin up there and plug the video card in. We'll just leave the rest of this completely dangle. They're eating the dogs, whoa, oh, oh, oh. They're eating the cats. As well, what's annoying is I think I've still got Windows 10 on this USB. If that's the case, I'll just install Windows 10, that doesn't really bother me, and then we'll upgrade to Windows 11. That is completely fine by me. I'd rather that than go downstairs and make a whole new USB stick. Okay, let's go for our 24 pin first, because this is the big bulky one that we're gonna wanna get in there. I bet this motherboard and graphics card is gonna just breathe a sigh of relief when it gets proper power. I am panicking about that screw as well. If you're sitting here this long as well through the video, guys, I'm not afraid to just ramble on about nonsense now. One thing that I find amusing about this video series is in the last part of the video, episode 3 I think it was, even though I am losing track, I said, oh no, it's a shame I didn't document the Windows install because everything went so badly wrong. And then this one I was determined, you know, I even set up the screen capture and stuff. I was determined to show you guys everything. And I ended up with so much footage because it just went wrong so many times and the troubleshooting went on and on and on and on that it was all just completely redundant anyway. That is fairly amusing. This 8 pin is labelled CPU on the side in quite big writing, so that's handy. Don't even need to use my extender. GPU is sagging like a beast there because I haven't got my nice bracket hooked up. My lovely custom GPU vertical anti-sag bracket. Custom IMNC edition. Finally got the GPU connectors in. That took a little while. And we need a power cable. We're all plugged in and ready to go. Where on earth is this screw for the SSD? I haven't had a lot of experience with these SSDs. Can you run them when they're not screwed down? Can you run them when they're just like flapping out of the socket like that? I don't think so, because the weight of this heatsink on this particular one is kind of like pulling it down out of the socket. So I don't think those top pins are making contact. It might not work if you don't press them down anyway. I don't even know. That's the last thing I want to do, is sort of blow something like that up accidentally. I have found the other memory. I think we should put the memory back in because we kind of want to run a normal system now. Okay, there's all the memory back in. Another quick hunt for this screw, I suppose. Can't find the screw. I dug out this kit again, just to see, because I knew it was a newer kit, maybe it included M2 screws, but I think that was being a bit ambitious and hopeful because it does not. Okay, I'm taping it to the board, I don't even care. And what I'll do is I'll order a pack of many of these little screws, and then that way in the future, because we'll be dealing with them now going forward, that way in the future, when I inevitably do this again, we won't be short screws. It's also handy when you buy used parts. Okay, so we've dimmed the lights for dramatic effect. And we've got the new power supply here. First thing we're going to do is turn the switch on the back. So let's go. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Good. Nothing weird has happened. We're going to go for that power button. And I haven't set up a capture. I'm just running this as simple as possible. No complicated bits. Everything in here is disconnected apart from all the important stuff. So, okay. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, boot. That's a damn good sign. Okay, we still get this weird CPU thermal problem. I was expecting that to be some sort of power thing. So the fact that that hasn't cleared is our first interesting observation. So something else is going on there with that, but we're not going to focus on that. We're not going to presume that that is the same thing that's causing the BSOD and causing the instability. Let's see how stable we are through a Windows install. While this is doing its thing, I'm going to go and order some screws. So really good progress. We've hit the desktop of Windows 10 and I didn't have to install it. So this is still the bodge install left over from last time where it just constantly kept crashing and looping. But not a single crash, not a single reboot even. But I'm not saying anything yet. We've had stability with this system before, so I'm not saying it's perfect yet. What I'm doing now is making a Windows 11 USB stick, and then we're going to erase this drive for the billionth time, and we're going to install Windows 11. So I've ordered some M2 NVMe SSD screws and standoffs and stuff, a nice little kit of those, so I've got plenty of those spare in the future, because it's going to be annoying to run into this problem if we do this all the time. While I was on there, I thought I'd nip on and have a look at this power supply. It's gone up a fair bit since I purchased it, so it's now $42.99. I checked out the reviews. It's got like 1,400 reviews and it's like 4.5 stars. Ratings are really good everywhere, but I haven't been able to find like a really deep dive power supply review where someone takes it, puts it through its paces. Haven't found anything like that, but I mean, it seems to be people are putting these in their systems and they're running just fine. Comments are they run cool, quiet, and no problems. I'm currently finding that it's cool. I'm currently finding that it's quiet. And so far we haven't had any problems, so that's nice. Not a single crash, not a single BSOD. I can tell we don't have video card drivers at the moment. I've nipped into Device Manager and we're running on the Microsoft generic display adapter. So I'm suspicious if we're going to be able to get this video card to work. So really throughout this whole thing, I think we may have been dealing with a multitude of problems, but we may have solved one of our biggest by investing in another power supply. Huge, huge news. I cannot believe this. The machine has picked up drivers for the RX 580. For the first time since I built it. So I was getting some almost close-ish results, getting a specific ASUS, bearing in mind this is not an ASUS card, an ASUS RX 580 driver running, or at least that's what it was detecting as under Windows. I noticed my screen go black and then it came back on. Performance was a lot better graphically, and under Device Manager I can see the RX 580, which is a massive deal. Now whether that will happen in Windows 11 as well, I'm not too sure, but it should do. But at least now I've seen this, and if all else fails with the video card in Windows 11, I can roll back to 10. But what this is suggesting to me right now is the card was just crippled. It wasn't able to actually power properly in order to get running with drivers. That's my guess so far anyway. So let's do a restart on this because we want to get up to Windows 11. Here's our Windows 11 installer loading up. We'll be able to get a feel of this quite quickly to see what things are like. So we've successfully cleaned the correct disk today. We'll install straight on that SSD. Nice thing about having the PSU on the desk here is every now and again if I just want a little bit of excitement I can just lick some of these. Wow. excuse the shaky camera work, but I want to get right in here and show you guys exactly what's going on. This build has taken a dramatic turn. I have ditched a lot of the original ideas in favor of just getting a working system, because this project has spanned, I want to say 3 months, which is crazy. It feels like about 3 months, could be more, could be slightly less, I'm not sure, but loads and loads of video parts. If I'd have included all the footage that I recorded for all of these parts, we'd be here until the end of time. For such a simple concept, it's been really difficult to pull off, but finally, we are here with a working system. We do not have a silver power supply. I know I spoke extensively about the reasons why I wanted the silver power supply, but hey, whatever, we now have this guy and it works. So great, that's all I care about now. And the motherboard, I know I wanted a full ATX motherboard, but now we have this little baby A320 board in here, and it is solid as a rock. I've actually been using this system now for 2 days. I've played games 2 days in a row. It is time to put the side panels back on this guy and call it a day. I have a couple of finishing touches to do, we'll talk about in a minute, but first of all, the motherboard situation. Either I killed the motherboard with my stupid dual PSU system, or the motherboard was DOA. There's a 50-50 chance, to be honest. There was likely a fault with the motherboard when it arrived, or there was very likely a fault that I caused by giving it dirty power. So that motherboard is going back to Amazon. They've agreed to a refund, so that is nice. And I got very, very lucky on that one. This motherboard I've had sitting around in IMNC HQ for a long time. Big shout out to Michael, who donated this a long while ago, along with some other components. I've been looking for a use for this guy for a long time. I've had various ideas, and it's just been floating around here, so what better system to put it in? I mean, it's working beautifully. It's a lower end board, so we're not going to be doing any overclocking or anything like that, but this system is not really meant for that anyway. I'm running everything stock and it's running beautifully. And believe it or not, guys, this, even though the board is much smaller and a lot more basic and lower end, I have actually got better functionality with this board because I can get to all 4 SATA ports. I've got 1, 2, and then I've got 2 under here. You can't see them because they're under the GPU, but I've got 2 there. So I've actually been able to connect 1, 2, 3, and 4 drives all to the motherboard. Whereas with the other board, I wasn't able to get the cables into the other ports because the GPU is in the way. So I did order a little SATA card, but I no longer need that. And even if I wanted to use it, I couldn't because the PCIe slots are blocked by the graphics card. But yeah, I've got my little M2 drive sitting in there, my NVMe drive. I've got a standoff on it, although it doesn't actually perfectly fit, but it doesn't seem to matter, so whatever. I'm just ignoring that. To be honest, this build has gone way off track, way off track, so I'm ready to just shove the side panel on and forget all about it. The only slight snag, I will have to open this guy up again in a week or so because I need to order a fan splitter, or I need to delve into my big storage in the attic to try and find a fan splitter, because one slight drawback to this board, there is only a single fan header. So I've got the rear exhaust plugged in for now, but what I want to do is split off that and plug in the front intake as well, just to bring the cool air into the case. But yeah, everything is connected. I managed to connect the card reader, the floppy drive, both front USB ports are working, everything is working, these back USB ports are connected and working. All of everything I wanted to put in here is in, which is great. So I wanted to record this quick clip before I put the side panels on, because what I'm going to do now with this system is put the side panels on, and then I think this system is going to live over there permanently on my desk. So that is going to be nice. It's going to look glorious. No, I did not find another accessory to put in here. There were a lot of good suggestions, but I also didn't want to just throw money at something random that I was never going to use. So I'm waiting for something to either just turn up. You know how things go. Sometimes you get lucky and come across things, who knows? Or I'll just leave it blank. Or maybe I'll have a use for something in the future that can go in there or whatever. Who knows? But as you can tell, I've kind of run out of patience to chase that kind of thing now. I haven't even put my GPU support bracket back in because, quite frankly, it doesn't even seem to need it. For some strange reason, everything just seems to work better with this motherboard. It fits better in the case. The alignment is better for some reason, so the cards line up better. with this motherboard in the back panel. It's really odd. The card seems a lot more stable, which is again strange because the other board had the metal-backed PCIe slot. Everything just seems to be smoother. Oh, the only downside, there's only 2 RAM slots on this board, so I'm rocking 8 gigs of RAM, but I don't even care about that either. It's not like this is going to be my main gaming rig. We might be able to bump this to 16 in the future. In fact, we probably will when I upgrade my other system. We'll just kind of hand me down RAM in here, which also came from Michael, actually. I believe he sent me a kit of 16 gig. So yeah, that's in my other gaming PC at the moment, 2 8GB sticks. That means I can bring this guy up to 16. So I've got 2 spare 4 gig sticks at the moment lurking back there. Where are they? They are here somewhere. Yeah, there they are, just around the corner. But yeah, I'm done. So this clip is one hell of a mess, but let's just leave it at that. I'm going to get this permanently set up, and I'm going to record the outro to this video in a couple of days' time when I've had a bit more of a play with this system, and maybe I can show you a few things. But right now, I'm ready to just put the panel on and leave it be. So we've got a little bit of a wide shot here, but I wanted to show the system in its new home, its natural habitat here on the side of my desk, and it's looking lovely. The original goal has been met. I was a little bit disheartened in the last clip because we had to pretty much tear the system apart and rebuild it essentially with majorly different components. But now that the side panels are on and it's sitting in its place, it is completely everything that I wanted and more. So it's been several weeks and the system is running really nicely. It's a little on the loud side, as you guys know. I went out of my way to make it audible. I wanted it to sound old school. I've definitely achieved that and more, I think. So I'll showcase that in a minute because the system is currently off. So you guys will be able to hear that. But yeah, that part has gone absolutely fine. And as you can see, we've got what appears to be a very old and crusty, nasty machine on the desk, where in fact it's a decently powerful system capable of actually playing games, which is what I wanted. So just to give you a little bit of context, the system is there, out of the way, and then my main workbench is here, and this is the monitor that I can use that machine with. I need to do some work with KVM stuff and kind of maybe some, I want to do some almost facility panel type work where I can patch in different systems that I have on the bench. That's been a desire of mine since I was next door in IMNC HQ Mark II, but I've never kind of pulled that off. So I'd love to get that done here and then maybe have like a big 4-way KVM or something like that to switch between everything with monitors and things, but we'll see how that goes. For now, I've just got everything directly connected. If I want to connect a different system, like when I made the Mac Mini video up there, the 2010 Mac Mini, I just unplug the cabling from this PC and plug it in to the Mac Mini. You know, it's no big deal at the moment, but that will become very annoying very quickly. So some kind of permanent patch system and a KVM to accompany that would be brilliant. So I think for the grand finale, we can power this up. I'm going to get just a little bit closer here and I'm going to press the power button so you guys can hear all of the noises. I think you'll be shocked at just how old school this sounds. Here we go. There we go, that was the beep. Now I've had to cut that clip down a little bit because the machine takes a long time to post. And I think, well, I know, in fact, that's completely and utterly to do with the floppy drive, because if I unplug the floppy drive, it posts straight away. I think I could probably speed that up by changing the boot order of things, maybe disabling the floppy boot up, or just moving the SSD higher up in the priority list, but I haven't even delved into things that far with this particular motherboard. So I've just loaded up a game to show you guys that the system is running. I was going to end this series properly with, you know, the list of benchmarks and how does it perform and what does it do, but ultimately, as crazy as this experience has been, this computer is just a Ryzen 5 3600 and an RX 580. So it's nothing special at all, but it runs just fine for the things that I want which is just a fun kind of system to play around with here in the office, and also be, you know, useful enough for some basic tasks that I'd want Windows for. Nice. One funny quirk that this machine has is the floppy drive kind of creates some interesting behavior. So anytime that a program or an app has got to scan the hardware, a good example of this is loading up 3D Mark, for instance. It kind of has to do that hardware scan thing, and if it's doing that, similar to when the system starts up, it constantly seeks from the floppy drive, and that entire process is just super slow. It's really strange. I don't know why. I guess it's just the way that the USB floppy is working, you know, which is fine. But if this was my main system, I think it would be a little bit frustrating to deal with that all the time, just a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of an unusual thing that it does. But other than that, functionality is really quite good. Oh yeah, nice, nice. Sweet. Now things are getting good. This is Black Mesa, of course, for anyone who doesn't recognize it. I've never actually played through it before, and I started playing through it a couple of months ago, and then things just got really busy. It's 2 days before Christmas while recording this clip, actually. So December is always a crazy time for me in work, so I just stopped playing for about a month or so, but I'm here on Surface Tension, and this is where I left off, so hopefully carry on over Christmas, because I've really been enjoying this. So it was a little bit of a bumpy ride along the way, and possibly a slightly underwhelming finish to this process, but it's been good fun. And that is now the end of the Beige build. It's kind of crazy to say that, because yeah, it's been best part of half a year of wanting to do this, and then 3 or 4 months of actually doing it. So just ridiculous for something like this, building a really simple kind of budget PC inside of an ATX case, of an older ATX case. It's not difficult, but a combination of crazy, silly desires from me for this project initially, and then some dead hardware, you know, thrown in the mix, just tripped us up plenty. So yeah, kept us on our toes. I've learned a fair bit, and I've had a lot of frustrations with Windows and this build in general, but my relationship is now slowly repairing with it. The fact that it's got kind of different guts inside is helping with that. I am not going to purchase an MSI board again anytime soon. I know the board in there right now is MSI, but the one that I purchased, the B450, that is completely unstable, and yeah, that's never going to see the light of day again. Unfortunately, I missed the Amazon return window. I boxed up the board, put it in the boot of the car, and then you know how they give you a couple of weeks to do it. I just completely forgot all about it. It was just sat back there. I didn't get around to posting it back, so I'm going to sell it as spares or repairs on eBay. And I've got a build coming up soon where I am back to using, I don't know if you can see that in the frame, just about. I'm back to using Gigabyte board, so all will be revealed about that, but I'm going to stick with Gigabyte because I know where I am with Gigabyte. So thank you all for watching. Thank you as always for your support. Hope you all have a lovely Christmas and a very happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next video.